The designer of this building, Helmut Jahn, specializes in stainless steel and glass. We have glass cubicles, we have glass walls, we have a glass elevator. Wherever you turn, glass.
This building's primary purpose is to house this automatic storage retrieval system. It's located 55 feet below grade, and it will house up to 3.5 million volumes of books. A series of robotic cranes will go and retrieve your book when you enter in the barcode into the computer.
And those robot arms ride on a track. Up to 12 miles an hour is how fast these things can actually get moving.
The building has to stay at a constant temperature and relative humidity for the books. By being underground, they do not have to heat the building more in the wintertime and cool it down more in the summertime.
We realized once getting out here and fully getting our hands around the project that it was more of a linear type schedule. We couldn't work on top of other trades, so we really could only work one section at a time.
The dome had to be built from the ground up. So we had to carefully coordinate loading all of the automated storage retrieval material and equipment into the basement before we had to close up that opening. We had to build the underground like a ship in a bottle.
When it was time to take all this equipment out, Barton Malow rigging reduced the equipment in size to something that would fit through a 6x8 hole. And if it worked out properly, all the stuff that had to go in the summer would go in the summer, and all the stuff that had to go in the winter could go in the winter.
December is when we started the slurry wall construction, and at that point the construction was fully mobilized.
We bring in 5 big tanks to mix bentonite slurry that we used to counteract the ground pressure and keep the trench from collapsing.
They had to put additional admixes into the concrete so that it could withstand the winter conditions.
The conventional slurry wall is square. This one is oval.
This vapor barrier is meant to keep all the moisture that could come in through the slurry wall away from the rest of the structure. As you can see, these slurry walls just continuing to drop down to the basement floor. You can see we have a whole bunch of tiebacks on the wall, and those tiebacks are really meant to keep this slurry wall pulled against all of the earth that is on the other side of it.
Each of those tiebacks has the potential to have some water infiltration into it. The design took this into account, and at the base of the slurry wall there's a trench drain that will then carry it back to a sump pump and eject it back out.
You know, a lot of times on buildings you're chasing around leaks for a long time after they're built, and this one we've been very fortunate enough to not have to do that.
We have turned the building over to the owner. We have met our substantial completion date. The owner is very happy.
We were very lucky in the sense that we got the best people for this job to build this job.